On the news, gunmen kill 6 travelers in Taraba State, kidnap 2 Chinese nationals in Ogun State. Edo government accuses Shaibu of impersonating the deputy governor. And NDLEA smashes cocaine syndicate, recovers multi-billion naira drugs in nationwide raids. For joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria, I am Simisola Atigun. We begin the news in Taraba State, northeast Nigeria, where gunmen have killed 6 persons, including the driver of a commercial car traveling from Takum local government area to Wukari local government area. Chairman of the Takum Council, John Ali, who confirmed the incident on Monday, said it occurred at a Sai community, a border area of Benue State, overstretching into Takum local government area of Taraba State. According to him, the gunmen emerged from the bush and opened fire on the moving vehicle, killing the 6 passengers and the driver. He assured that the government is determined to bring the perpetrators to justice. Meanwhile, in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, the State Police Command has confirmed the kidnapping of 2 Chinese nationals by suspected armed men around Kimta along the Onigbedu in Ewekoro local government area. The public relations officer, Omolola Odutola, who confirmed the incident, however, said that effort is being put in place by the command to ensure the release of the victims. Despite the reinstatement of Philip Shaibu as Deputy Governor of Edo by a federal high court in Abuja, the state government has accused him of impersonation shortly after he announced his resumption of duty and directed his staff to do so. Recall that on July 17, 2024, Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court ordered Shaibu's reinstatement in a case against his impeachment by the State House of Assembly. However, in a statement signed and made available to newsmen on Monday in Benin City, the State Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Nehikare, accused Shaibu of impersonating Godwin Omobayo as the Deputy Governor of the state. Nehikare warned that every correspondence from Shaibu should be disregarded and considered a forgery pending the decision of the appeal court, where both the state government and the Edo House of Assembly have filed a stay of execution of the reinstatement. Well, let's discuss this development further. Legal expert Evans Ufeli joins me on the news. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Let me quickly ask, should the 2 separate motions filed by the Edo State government and the House of Assembly stop Shaibu's reinstatement as ordered by the Federal High Court?
Yes, once the judgment debtor has gone to court and has filed a motion to stay execution of a judgment of a lower court, it is deemed under the law that the action must be stayed. So what Shaibu is doing now is actually against the rule of law. Against the rule of law to the extent that there is a substantive motion to stay execution of that judgment. Whether or not the motion has been heard or ruled upon is of no consequence. He need not go ahead and begin to act based on the pronouncement of the Federal High Court officiated by Justice James Omotosho. I mean, those orders are valid, but now the judgment debtor has gone on appeal. And by way of follow-up to the appeal, the judgment debtor, which is the State House, had filed a motion to stay execution of the judgment of the lower court in a higher court. It is the law that once such motion is filed, parties are supposed to maintain the status quo, pending on the determination of the appeal. Okay? So I don't know who advised Shaibu to now go and resume today. Was it today that the judgment was delivered? Why didn't he resume the particular day or the next day after the judgment was delivered? You see, I am not making a case for the State House. Neither am I making a case for Shaibu. Okay? I am focused on the rule of law. What the law is. Because if you begin to take action, even when the judgment letter has gone on appeal, it is a recipe for disaster, because when you go on appeal, you are supposed to stay execution. You are supposed to stay execution of that judgment. If you look at during the election, if you remember in Kano, where the court had ruled, first of all, the tribunal ruled against the current governor. Okay? And he went to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal ruled against him. And then the Supreme Court now, upturned both the tribunal and the Court of Appeal. In all those cases, parties had to maintain status quo. Whether you have just gotten a judgment in your favor or not, the truth is that the status quo must be maintained until and unless you have exhausted your options of appeal. And the apex court have said that judgment is in your favor. That is when you cannot go for execution. But as long as there's appeal and there are motions to stay execution of the orders of lower courts, you are supposed to stay action. So this one is going to cause problem. I don't know who advised him to go do that. According to him, he said that his removal was wrongful. His removal was wrongful, and therefore he can resume at any time. That is not the law, as far as I'm concerned. The law is that you must maintain the status quo until the options of appeal have been properly dealt with.
All right. Finally, is this development likely to affect the party's conduct at the upcoming elections in September?
Well, most likely, because now he has ordered all his aides to resume duty. And he has placed an order that anyone who fails to resume duty will face the consequences. So not only has he resumed, but he has also started giving orders. And the state is now saying that he's impersonating the substantive deputy governor. Okay? Because that one too is still in office. And two rams cannot drink water from the same bucket at the same time. It is not the law that at any point in our history we should have two deputy governors. And then we should have one making orders to the effect that his aides to come around and resume duty, while the other making orders and saying that the actions and orders of the other should be disregarded, that he's an impersonator, he's a meddlesome interloper. So what Shaibu ought to have done was to maintain action. I know that before the appeal will be considered and before they will get to the Supreme Court, the tenure would have elapsed. But at least he will get his entitlement as ordered by the court. All his remuneration will be paid to him. And it should be on record that he was impeached, but the court restored him. So it will not be that he left office impeached. The court intervened and restored his position. That is what will be on record. But what he's doing now may most likely lead to a breakdown of law and order. Most likely, because you can't have two deputy governors in it.
Right then, the court judgment is in 2 weeks, and we see what happens from then on. Legal expert Evans Ofrele, thank you very much for speaking to us. Moving on, the police command in Rivers State has confirmed the detonation of an improvised explosive device, IED, at the Action People's Party Secretariat in Port Harcourt. The explosion occurred around 1 a.m. on Monday, causing significant damage to the building. The police public relations officer in Rivers, SP Grace Iringe Koko, while briefing newsmen, said that the command's explosive ordnance disposal unit had been deployed to strip the scene and that no lives were lost in the incident. Speaking further, the Rivers Police spokesperson Iringo Koko said the investigation was still ongoing, promising to provide findings once concluded. Civil society organizations, INEC accredited observers in the November 11, 2023 Kogi governorship election, as well as indigents of the state, have raised concerns over what they describe as mindless blackmail and propaganda taken too far by the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Muritala Ajaka, and the party's effort at putting undue pressure on the judiciary and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Speaking on behalf of the CSOs at a joint press conference in Abuja on Monday, the national coordinator of the Coalition of Civil Society Groups of Nigeria, Ohalete Wisdom Kelechi, said that INEC and the judiciary were two critical institutions of government that must be protected from the prejudice of political interests. The groups also accused the SDP of promoting ethnic divisions, hate and violence against non-members of the party in Kogi East local government area.
Those behind the maligning, the disparaging, the name-calling, the attacks, the propaganda against INEC should stop and desist forthwith. 2, that justice is what the civil society organizations want in this matter. And we are confident with the type of president we have who believes in rule of law, that justice will be met in the Kogi matter.
It is a statement of fact that Kogi's gubernatorial election was squarely and roundly contested by majorly the APC and the SDP, with both having resounding victory in their different strongholds. We wish to urge the Supreme Court to be courageous, fearless, and refuse to give in to deliberate, politically motivated pressure in the interest of justice, fairness, and sustaining democratic survival in Nigeria.
We are particularly worried that some individuals who won in their stronghold of Ankpa, Ida, Olomaboro, Ofu, Ibaji, Dekina, Omala, and Igalamela Odolu commended INEC and could turn back to discredit same electoral umpire for being fair and justice in all local governments of the state. The desperation, madness, and recklessness they have displayed have clearly shown that they do not mean well for our state.
The nationwide crackdown on drugs by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has disrupted major drug networks, recovering significant quantities of cocaine and cannabis sativa. In a statement on Sunday, August 11, the spokesman of the Anti-narcotics Agency, Femi Babafemi, revealed that multi-billion naira worth of cocaine concealed in heavy-duty automobile pivot shafts and Ghanaian kente fabric, among others, were recovered. Our correspondent, Victoria Konde, has more.
According to the NDLEA spokesman, the 2.32 kilograms of cocaine concealed in Ghanaian traditional kente materials bound for United Kingdom were intercepted at a courier firm in Lagos. 10.494 kilograms of same Class A drug heading to the United States in heavy-duty pivot shafts were recovered at the same logistics company after the NDLEA sniffer dogs fished out the automobile spare parts containing the illicit drug, bringing the total weight of cocaine seized in the two shipments to 12.814 kilograms. Babafemi added that 5 other consignments going to the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada were also intercepted at the courier firm in Lagos. 1,169 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance was also seized from a bus along Orchard Road, Aja. In another intelligence-led operation on Wednesday, August 7, NDLEA operatives arrested a member of a cocaine trafficking network at Alafia Orile, Amuwo Dolphin area of Lagos, while attempting to move 9 kilograms of cocaine to Onitsha, Anambra State. 2 members of another cocaine syndicate based in Nnewi and Oba Town, Anambra State, were also arrested on Thursday, August 8, in a follow-up operation following the seizure of their consignments in a transport company bus at Benin, Edo State the same day. NDLE operatives at Tinkan Seaport, Lagos, in collaboration with the men of the Nigeria Customs Service and other stakeholders, intercepted 532 parcels of loud weighing 265.25 kilograms in a black Toyota Sienna bus, which is one of the 3 vehicles in a container coming from Montreal, Canada. Still on August 8 in Adamawa State, NDLE operatives, with the support of men of Operation Farauta Sector 3 Mayor Belwa, arrested 49-year-old Joseph Peter with 425 compressed blocks of cannabis sativa weighing 291.2 kilograms in his Toyota Camry car. Speaking on the arrest and seizure in the past week, Babafemi said commands and formations of the agency across the country continue their war against drug abuse sensitization activities in schools, worship centers, workplaces, and communities with the same drive. On his part, the chairman and chief executive officer of NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Buba Mawa, urged the operatives and their compatriots across the country to continue with their current balanced approach to drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction efforts. Victoria Akonde, TV360, Lagos.
And now to education, the West African Examinations Council, WASSCE, has officially announced the release of the results for the 2024 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates. In a press briefing, the head of the Nigerian National Office of the West African Examinations Council, Josiah Dangote, provided an in-depth overview of the examination's conduct, saying this year's result had a 7.69% decrease in performance compared to the previous year. TV360's Faith Joseph has the report.
The 2024 WASSCE for school candidates held for 7 weeks and 6 days from April 30th to June 24th, 2024. In his official press briefing to announce the release of the result of the exam, as head of the Nigerian National Office of the West African Examination Council WASSCE, Amos Dangote highlighted several challenges encountered during the examination. He cited security concerns such as the sit-at-home order by the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) and industrial action by the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), which clashed with major examination dates.
The rate of inflation in the country has affected the cost of everything, and the Council is not excluded, as this has greatly added to the challenges we are facing in terms of the cost of conducting examinations. In addition, the constant hike in price and scarcity of petroleum products affected the seamless conduct of the examination, as we had to move examination materials from one point to another. Rogue website operators and shameless connivance of some supervisors. During the course of examination, activities of rogue website operators did not go unnoticed, as some of these miscreants are already having a taste of their pudding. A few supervisors and invigilators who were caught aiding and abetting examination malpractice were also brought to book.
Out of the total number of candidates who sat for the examination, 93.39% have their result fully processed and released, while the results of 119,327 candidates are being still processed. Dangote further disclosed that the result of 215,267 candidates, representing 11.92% of those who sat for the examination, are currently withheld based on reported cases of examination malpractice.
The analysis of statistics of candidates' performance in the examination shows that out of the 1,805,216 candidates that sat the examination, 1,332,089 candidates, representing 73.79%, obtained credit and above in a minimum of any 5 subjects, that is, with or without English language and or mathematics. 1,301,949 candidates, representing 72.12%, obtained credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics.
Dangote added that results of candidates who were sponsored by the state indebted to the council will not be released until payments are made.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Niger Republic, Togo and others owe Nigeria $14 million power debt. That's according to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. Despite the reinstatement of Philip Shaibu as Deputy Governor of Edo by a federal high court in Abuja, the state government has accused him of impersonation shortly after he announced his resumption of duty and directed his staff to do so. In a statement signed and made available to newsmen on Monday in Benin City, the State Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Nehikare, accused Shaibu of impersonating Godwin Omobayo as the Deputy Governor of the state. We also told you that the nationwide crackdown on drugs by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has disrupted major drug networks, recovering significant quantities of cocaine and cannabis sativa. In a statement on Sunday, August 11, the spokesman of the Anti-narcotics Agency, Femi Babafemi, revealed that multi-billion naira worth of cocaine concealed in heavy-duty automobile pivot shafts and Ghanaian kente fabrics, among others, were recovered. In case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Well, let's switch our focus to business. Joy Uchejim is on standby. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Simi, and welcome to Business News. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has disclosed that 3 neighboring countries, Niger, Benin Republic, and Togo, are owing Nigeria $14.2 million in electricity bills for the first quarter of 2024. The NERC disclosed this in its Quarter 1 report 2024, where it expressed concern over the failure of the beneficiary countries to pay up debts. While expressing concern over failure of beneficiary countries to pay up, the Commission says it expects the electricity market operator to invoke the provision of the market rules to curtail the payment indiscipline being exhibited by local and international bilateral customers. We'll take a short break and return with stock market reports. Welcome back. WASSCE shares took a nosedive on the Nigerian stock market on the first weekday of trading and dragged the whole market down with it. The market ended the day down by 0.72% on Monday, August 12th, and analysts predicted a bumpy rise this week, so this isn't too surprising. WASSCE was the biggest loser today, dropping a whooping 11.33% to 114 naira, followed by Sky Aviation, which wasn't far behind. Now, in a short overview of the market activity, the stock market traded about 498 million shares today, worth around 11 billion naira in a total of 10,645 deals. Abroad, things were looking up for the UK and Japan with their stock markets doing very well. But the US market was a different story because it had a rough day as investors waited for some important economic news this week, leaving the US Dow Jones to close at 1.13%. Now, switching over to Forex, the Naira started this week on a strong note at 1,584 Naira to a dollar on the black market. The British pound also experienced a slight increase to trade at 2,010 Naira, while euros traded at 1,726 Naira on the black market. That wraps up our business and stock market reports. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
More joy. And on the foreign scene, a fast-spreading wildfire has torn through several neighborhoods close to the Greek capital of Athens on Monday, prompting authorities to urge residents to evacuate their homes. The blaze, which hundreds of firefighters are battling, is just the latest in a summer that has Greece baking in record temperatures. According to scientists, increasingly hot and dry weather linked to climate change has made wildfires more frequent and intense across Europe. Nigeria's participation in the Paris 2024 Olympic Games ended without a medal, marking the 8th time the country has failed to secure a medal at the Olympics. This disappointing outcome has sparked concerns about the state of sports development in Nigeria. In response, Minister of Sports Development John Eno says the country's apex body has swung into a review process of Nigeria's poor performance at the Paris 2024 Olympics Games as the country looks forward to the Paralympics, which begins August 28 in Paris as well. Earlier on, I spoke with sport analyst Tosin Oluwalowo to get his thoughts on Nigeria's performance at the just concluded Paris 2024 Olympics.
While they were going for the Olympic Games, he had charged them to do better than the 1996 Olympic experience, where Nigeria came back home with 2 gold medals. So it meant that if he knew that they were not prepared, as he's now saying, why was he now then promising Nigerians or making those kind of statements then? But talking about whether they should sit back home or the likes, you know that for us as Nigerians here, if you say we wouldn't go, that will cause another issue or the likes or all of those things. But I believe the best way to address that would have just been to send the very best of Nigerian athletes to the Olympics, the best ones that you know that even if they don't win medals, they will at least get to the final, instead of sending a strong delegation and then not being able to achieve anything substantial. It's not enough compensation. You can't take over 80 people to a competition and you don't win a medal, and somebody in one of those sports now just emerge the best coach of the tournament, and you say that's enough compensation. A country as not as big as ours, Kenya, for example, came on with 4 gold medals. Small countries with 73,000 population like St. Lucia came on with 1 gold and 2 silver medals. So that's a country that maybe sent 1 or 2 people to the Olympic Games. So a country with over 200 million people that sent over 80 delegates, not winning a medal and not saying a basketball best coach of the tournament, whatever is the competition. It's not a good enough compensation for our abysmal performance at the Olympic Games.
And it's a wrap on our bulletin. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.